Alright, just over 2 minutes until the tournament begins. Looking for our fourth top 20 in a row. And fighting for the prizes again. It's a Wednesday night, which means the time control is 3-0 for 2 hours. It's pretty quick time control. Got to play it kind of like Bullet. Because usually in 3-0 we get in time trouble. But last week went well, so I want to continue that. We don't have a ton of title players in. About 42 players registered so far, which I think is about the size it started last week. Somewhere in that range. We're at 21st. What's nice, unlike the first week, is we've got a good number of people within 150 points either way. So our pairing should be pretty consistent. Adisi, not sure how to say that name, but thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. 1 minute until we begin our first game. Alright, we'll go ahead and enable those sounds. There we go, got the notification going. 40 seconds. See, 26, which means right now our most likely pairing is against Chespatzer RSA from South Africa. But someone could jump in and mess that up. Yep, there we go. So now checkmate 3-1, 4-1 would be our most likely pairing. But it's definitely going to be someone around 1800, the mid-1700s. And here we go. So we usually do not get off to a good streak, so I'm hoping to fix that today. Getting a little bit of a time edge already. Also from the US of A. And like usual, we're going to try and leave up these standings as the games go. Scandinavian in the first game. Early bishop c4 as we like to do. And we're going to play d3. We're delaying knight f3 because we want to see what he's going to do with his light squared bishop. Make sure our light squared bishop can run back, since a lot of times they hit it with tempo. And he is going to attack on that diagonal. That's a little bit unusual. I haven't really seen that strategy in the Scandinavian before. Still going to castle that way. And try and put some pressure down the e-file. Yeah, he's definitely looking for a kingside attack for sure. h3 at some point will probably be useful. Let's go ahead and pin that knight. Maybe knight e4. If he pushes me all the way back to g3, I'd be pretty happy with that. Maybe we'll go back to f1. Where's that knight going? Probably going up to f4 is his idea. I'm actually going to take it. My bishop's not doing much anyway. And can I play c4 myself? I think so. And then I can follow it up with d4 likely. Nice break in the center. Get my knights nice and active. I'd like a knight on d4 and then another one on f3. Ooh, but he's going to let me play d5 here. The pawn is pinned because we have that pressure down the e-file we set up. Not a big time advantage. We're both playing pretty fast right now. Yep, he's just going to back it up. Now I can take on e6 and I'm going to win a pawn. So we're going to just go ahead and cash in. Double up. Look to see if we can do something on the 7th rank here. I don't think I have too much to be worried about in terms of him attacking my king side, but I want to make sure my king has some luft. Now I want to play rook e7 next. It's a nice position. I can kick that knight. Looks risky. Okay, I gotta keep playing fast here. His knight's kind of stranded over there on the edge of the board. Gotta keep my rooks on dark squares so I don't lose any of them. Interesting. I really want to get one of my knights into the game, but I'm not doing a good job of that so far. But I also have to just play fast. Alright, we're going to just attack the knight. Ooh, he goes straight in. Okay, we're going to take with check. And we'll push again. He can take twice on f3. Not much I can do about that. Threaten checkmate. So we kind of sacrifice that piece to get some initiative here. He's under a minute also at this point. All right, he's going to take... Oh, that's a nice checkmate. All right, on to the next game. No time to look at it. Usually we would stop and look at it, but as usual, tough first game. There's our next pairing. It looks like no one has won their first game, or the standings aren't updated. Obviously, someone's won their first game because our opponent won their first game. There we go. Now it's updated. We'll play queen b6 here. Try and put some pressure on b2 right away. That's going to be a free pawn, and we're going to get some initiative with it. Question is just what do I take with if he takes back on b4? Two people have already won 2 games. Okay, our opponent's taking his time here. Almost a minute on this move, it feels like. Charges ahead like that. Okay. We'll go ahead and take on c4 and just develop with bishop d7. And then rook c8, get lined up with that bishop. Our king is in no danger currently. Let's go ahead and get off that diagonal. Probably not going to go queenside. He's down to a minute and a half now. Line the rook up with the hanging bishop. Need to play knight e7, knight g7 to get my king side developed. And he's going to try and open things up. Okay, we're going to attack that bishop. I don't think there are any sacrifices on f7 that work because my pieces are well developed. My king should be able to hide pretty well. He's down to a minute now. Take back with the knight. Yeah, because if he pushes e6, I want to be able to take with the bishop. Looking to go kingside. No increment or delay in these games. So it's hard to recover once there's time pressure. Finns did get into the tournament. Okay, so I guess my bishop was hanging there. Got my king safe, but at a cost. He's down to 20 seconds, though, so it doesn't really matter what I hang at this point. It's just not enough time to finish the game. Try and look for a queen trade. Also guards f7. If he plays knight g5, I could also just take it. Down to 5 seconds, and we are done. Okay, on to the next game. Erik Arend is our next opponent. We've played him before. Let's see. Is this the opponent I dropped the queen against the other day? Might be. Let's go ahead and get off that file quickly. We do have a bishop pair now, so that's always fun. And I think our knight would be quite happy on f5. He agrees, and so he tries to stop it. Got good control over e4 also. Okay, we'll just kind of inch the queen closer, I guess. Closer to what, though? Alright, we'll see where his knight goes. Kind of putting ourselves in the line of fire here. Let's pin the knight to his queen. Now we can get out of the line of fire. Fight for the file. Well, he's going to trade rooks. Okay, he might try and go after the queen side. So I'm hoping that causes him some problems on the king side. Make sure my king has a spot to run to if needed. And he's going to keep trading. A little bit surprising. Down a little bit of time, but not a lot. He's really in the trading mood here. The threat is knight takes h6, winning a pawn. Threat on g7, threat on h6. The threat is to win the queen by taking on h6 and checkmate him on g7. Now we're going to catch up on time, it looks like. Alright, and he sacrifices his queen. But that shouldn't be anything too important. Just hide our king. And the knight is just not going to be able to do anything. We'll take this pawn. We'll take this pawn. We're on the knight and we're on f7. Check. And now we're going to pick up the knight. Okay, no stalemate here. Check. And checkmate. All right, next game. That's 2 in a row. That's what we need. Captain Carter's our next opponent. So what we were really finding out the last couple tournaments is that it's all about getting as many streaks of 3 together as possible. Obviously, you want streaks longer than that, but as long as you're getting streaks of 3, you're going to be competitive. Do we have to play a6 there? No, I've got this check. We're on his knight. This got a little bit too messy for my liking. Okay, so we sacrificed a pawn there to get out of the pressure. So we're going to try our best to round up that pawn. To say our knight is looking quite happy over there on on e4. And this position is turning out a lot better than it was 10 moves ago. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take it. Okay, and we'll go back. Now we're looking to get over to the king side, and we're also threatening on b2, which looks like we won't be able to take advantage of that yet. Unless I take and he takes and I get some pawns for it, that seems a bit too risky. We'll bring the knight back. Okay, I need to fight for some light squares, I think. Need to watch my back rank. Let's get out of that pin. Not sure where my knight's going to go, but my knight being involved is probably going to be important. Time is pretty even. We're on the rook, and if he takes my rook, I can recapture with the knight. And then the question will be whether my knight can survive this endgame. I'm going to look to trade queens and get my king up pretty quickly. And I think my knight's actually going to end up being pretty good here. In fact, his bishop is almost trapped, but we're not going to keep pushing. Or are we? Yeah, let's try and keep that bishop trapped for the moment. Let's take with the knight. My king's close enough that he can get over there to the queen side. This pawn structure feels good. It feels like his king's going to be tied down. Time is running out for us both, though. Okay, we've got a passed pawn now. Attack the bishop, and then see if we can get our king closer. Okay, I'm the one with the passed pawn now. Okay, we don't have a lot of time, but we have enough time. Checkmate. There we go. He was down to 3 seconds, too. Okay, that's a streak of 3. A little bit tight there at the end, but our knight ended up being pretty nice once his bishop was almost trapped. Cold Player 1992. We've played him before. I think he's a fellow streamer. And it says we're in 12th at the moment. Let's see what he wants to do with that bishop. He's probably going to just exchange, yeah. And let's get e5 in. Ooh. Interesting. Maybe that didn't work. Seemed ready for it. But he's taking some time here. So where does this put us in material? Looks like we're down a pawn. So we're going to have to play for activity. I'm just giving up the b pawn so my rook can go to b8 with tempo. Like this, because then I get the b2 pawn. And it's all about that activity. Just trying to trade rooks. Good move by him. Guess we'll try and guard that a pawn for the moment. Yep, expected. No threat there, since he's pinned at the moment. He takes the bishop, he loses his queen. queen is kind of on the run here, so we got to play fast. I'm trying to keep that a pawn because I don't want him to have doubled passed pawns. But here, maybe we can collect all the pawns we need to. Now it's symmetrical. So let's see if one of us can come up with some tricks. Threaten to win the queen. Hoping I can get some pressure, at least make him use his time. Getting a little bit of a time edge here. Got to try and milk it. Now the threat is rook d1 checkmate. Oh, darn. Darn. That gives him the checkmate. Yep, we dropped that pawn with check. Good job by him. Okay, let's get back on a streak. We got our streak of 3. Let's get another streak of 3. Theophrastos is our next opponent. Got an English opening. Not doing anything fancy here. Just aiming for a solid position. Solid position without getting behind on time. C5 will be nice. You can get us hanging pawns or an isolated pawn. But that's okay. All our minor pieces are in the game, so we should be pretty happy with that. Yep, get our rook active. Rook e8 next. Hey, UCLA. Yeah, he's going to be looking for some kind of checkmate on h7, so we'll likely just play knight f8 at some point. Yeah, let's just play it now. Avert those threats before they even take place. We are threatening to just take the knight right now. Okay. Get our queen to a little bit of a better square. Yeah, not too bad. We're looking for our 4th tournament in a row in top 20. That's our ultimate goal here. Can we inch over to the king side yet? I'm not sure. I think I'm actually going to just jump this knight in. See if that pawn on e4 can be a nuisance for him. Queen h4. Get some kingside pressure going here. Do we want to trade this knight off? Not sure. Not sure if we do. Got to be careful. I just unguarded my bishop on d6. But his bishop doesn't have anywhere useful to go. And I can always return the favor by taking his knight, which might be a good idea here. Maybe we'll just line up with his queen. He's down to a minute, and he's looking for a queen trade now. Let's keep the queens on the board since he's the one that's going to be in time pressure here. Interesting. I don't think I'm worried about that pawn. Oh, he took with the rook. Uh-huh. We're going to play f5. Our queen is guarding. Got to be a little careful. h6 is loose right now. Maybe I should have gone to h7. A little bit of king pressure. He's down to 30 seconds. Ooh. I'll definitely go ahead and do that, though. Did he win a pawn? Yes. But this position is not going to be convertible in 25 seconds. So I'm not terribly worried about it. We'll take that. He's down to 15 seconds. Playing a little bit sloppy here. Although this is kind of funny. Get the bishop right back. Let's get some passed pawns. He says no. Let's keep going with this passed pawn. He's moving really fast now. Down to 16 seconds here. He's pre-moving. That was a mistake, though. 1 second. It was a little closer than I would have liked, but we got it done. All right, on to the next one. Let's get this streak going. Jerry Fly, another streamer. 2032, so a pretty strong opponent here. I think we've played him a couple times. Not sure if we've beaten him or not. Yeah, stop developing my bishop to d6 in these positions, just so I stop falling for e5 tactics in Blitz and Bullet, especially Bullet. Alright, maybe I'll try and play f6 here. Rook e8 to help guard f6 when I push it. Then I'll see if I can try and get e5 in at some point. Yes, it was not clean on either side there. e5. He's got 4 attackers on it. I've got 4 defenders, right? So e5, knight takes. I lose 2 unless I take with the pawn, so that's a bit risky. But I think we may have to go for it. Our king might not have much cover here. Nice pawn center, though. We do have a nice pawn center. Our rook is guarding the 7th rank, so we don't have to worry about queen g4. Might help if we try and trade queens. Relieve some of this pressure. Let's go for this queen trade here. Try and push him back. That's a free queen. Nope, he's going to take the pawn. It's not a free queen, but it's probably the best move anyway. Probably what needed to be done. Try and give my king some shelter here. If he plays bishop g7 check, I'd give up my rook for the 2 pieces. In what position? Okay, we've got to pin down this file. So let's be careful of that. Guess we'll attack the bishop. Time's still pretty close. Yeah, I feel like in my games in the past, I've gotten them under time pressure. Okay. What's my bishop doing on b7? Not a lot at the moment. So I can play knight takes, bishop takes, knight takes. Knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes is better. That way there's not a pin. Down a pawn right now, but not the end of the world. We're on his knight. What was I worried about? I didn't forget, but maybe I didn't think about it for the wrong reason. I'm gonna have to give him the file here. Actually, let's go here and take this bishop. On the rook. I'm gonna have to run the king up the board here, I think. He can get the bishop back if he just takes it. But I thought I might have this. Okay, we're on his rook. Down to 10 seconds. Oops. And I'm out of time. Darn it. I was too worried about getting checkmated. Okay, we're going to just go back to f3. We played this against him last week. Maybe it was even on Monday. Yeah, something very similar to this. All right, now we got to get a new streak going. There I could have taken his knight. I wasn't thinking. Could have taken his knight if queen takes. I played bishop takes h7. Let him off the hook. Alright, let's keep the bishops. Maybe we just play bishop takes anyway. Looks interesting. Let's go for it. Check. And now he has checkmated himself. Nope, not yet. Close. Did I play this exact same thing against him earlier this week? I think I did. I think I played the exact same thing against him. And I think he did the exact same thing. Alright, let's back our pieces up a little bit. Bishop g5 coming up. Where does our queen want to go? Somewhere else. Somewhere where it doesn't look as threatening. Nope. Still don't want to do that. Well, I guess we'll undouble those pawns. That's worth something, right? Interesting. Kind of ugly. Kind of ugly. Alright, we'll back him up here. Guard that pawn. Our king might have to battle in the center here. Attack the bishop. Let's walk our king up a little bit. Alright, let's see if we can get an attack down the G file. With H5 coming up. He's not playing with his rook that's on F8, so... I can't play rook H4 like I wanted. Thought I was going to be able to double up there. Yep, those bishops are still annoying. Can't get this rook active very well. I wanted to play rook H4 and try and do something down the H file. Ooh, what's he doing here? There's no checkmate on E1. Okay, we'll attack the bishop again. If he goes bishop E3, I'm just going to step to G2. He's down to a minute. I'm down to 35 seconds. Gonna have to play a little bit faster here. Okay, we're catching up on time. Got threats on the H file, maybe on the G file. We're on his bishop. Now I got all our material back. See what we can get going here. Check. Ah, he got us on time. 0.2 seconds. So close, so close. Yeah, I knew he was pre-moving. But I didn't get around to taking that last pawn in time. Too slow taking the pawn. Ooh, he's going to take right away. Let's go ahead and pin that knight. And we'll try and control d5. Do we go queenside? Yeah, let's go queenside this game. I don't usually against the e6 Sicilian, but something different. Yeah, I needed to find more checks or something. I knew what to do, I just couldn't do it. I'm going to take the knight. And then we'll take here. Not worried if he takes the knight on c3. Be happy to get rid of his bishop. Alright, we're going to look for f4. Get these pawns moving towards his king. I'm going to just go ahead and take it. Yeah, I'm still looking for checkmates and stuff like that. I'm not skilled in the art of dirty flagging yet. Enough of these arenas and maybe I will be. Alright. Let's force that rook to move. In an endgame here, my C and A pawn should be good versus that B pawn. Excuse me. Actually, maybe I don't need to guard the H pawn. Okay, if he trades off here, that shouldn't be a problem for me. Still have the 2-on-1 on the queen side. Alright, let's start pushing these guys. Let's guard it on a light square. I thought about pushing c3, but then his bishop might be able to attack it at some point, so rearrange this knight. c4 looks like it could be a good square for us. Yeah, he just takes it. So we can't push g5 yet. Maybe we need to get the king involved. Walk him up towards the b pawn. On the bishop. The over-the-board tournament went mediocre. I lost to... Oh, next game he resigned. I lost to an 1800, and then lost to a 1900, then beat a 1600, then beat a 1900. So, lost some points. Had some interesting games. I was lost by like move 10 in the second game. I just fell for some kind of opening trap that I hadn't seen before. I tried to play something I don't normally play, which was a mistake. We'll block with the knight. Yeah, let's take this. I think we're safe to take that. I thought about playing the check, but then he gets to develop his knight. This way I can keep that rook trapped. Still can't save it, can he? He can play his bishop to d4. But then I'm just going to take this pawn with check. So let's take the rook, because we're on the knight. Wow. Okay. Check. The knight's pinned, so it can't take. Let's open up the e-file. Not worried about the material, just trying to get to his king here. Okay, so I don't know what the bishop's doing on g4. Check. Get on that f pawn, but there's still just so much space for his king to run away. Don't want to spend too much time trying to find the checkmate. Check. Jump off a cliff. Thank you for the follow. So that's 2 in a row. Let's make it 3. Plumber 01 is our next opponent. 24th place, so still doing okay. Nothing spectacular yet, but we are not even halfway into the tournament. I'm going to play h3 here. See if he exchanges. Nope, he doesn't yet. All right, let's get a rook on the e-file. He's going after that pawn. He hasn't castled yet, which is why he can do that. Because I don't have any tricky takes on h7 stuff. I do have... No, I don't. I thought I could take on d5 here. Pawn takes... Pawn can't take because it's pinned. But queen takes. I don't have a good bishop check. Because bishop b5 check, the queen can actually take. So yeah, didn't have any cool tactic there. Alright, let's see if I can untangle this queen from this kingside position. Oh, we didn't need that guy, right? Okay, I need to get my queen out of this annoying pin. Like, I need to get it up to f4 or something. He's going to try and force the bishop off the board, which is a good plan. So let's see if we can just do something down the g-file. Paul from St. Petersburg doing quite well this tournament. Offering queen trade. Avoid the queen trade. Threaten checkmate. Push the h-pawn. The problem here is that we don't actually have enough material to really checkmate. I am threatening to take on g6 to try and get a draw, but not really enough there. Which is why I want to play h5. Still plenty of room for a mistake from black, though. Less room now. We'll play h5 anyway. He's got checkmate on the second rank. Not much we could do about that. As soon as we dropped that knight that came with the exchange, there was no coming back. Alright, Archmage 81 is our next opponent. I recognize his name. I think we've played him in the Arena Kings before. Is he going to take the knight right away? Nope. Let's take his knight. And then play bishop d3. I don't think he's going to take on c3, but a lot of people do. Yeah, now he took. So we're happy with this position with both the bishops pointed towards his king. Now I'm thinking bishop g5 with the threat of e5. Maybe queen f3. Put a rook on the d file. Okay, he's taking his time here. Interesting. Puts the queen on the e file. So I'm going to go ahead and put a rook on the e file next then. Line it up with the queen. I don't mind bishop g4. I'll just move my queen over to g3. I don't really want to take on f6 and double his pawns, because I want to keep this pressure on the king side up. He's going to really go after that pawn. He might. Hey, Chess Nerd Bird. Thank you for the follow. Alright, if he does play queen, I'm going to push this pawn. The threat right now is bishop takes h7, winning the queen. The queen can't take the e-pawn. Aha. That's a good move, because he guards the queen. So let's keep the same threat alive and see if we can get bishop h6 in. Maybe I could have even... Yeah, bishop h6 is the threat. Maybe I'll play my queen up to h4. He does take on e5 now. The threat is queen takes g7. Okay, we can win the exchange if we want. And we're going to here. I think it's a good exchange to win, because I get this at the end. I'm threatening queen h8 checkmate if he does not take my queen. And if he does, I get the nice e-file for the rest of the game. Ooh. Again, he finds a tricky move to get out of it. But that does give me the rook. He gets out of the checkmate, but gives me the rook. Or not. Or I had to trade queens. We're missing stuff today. Just too busy thinking about Jack in the box. Let's see. So what did I have to play there? Let me look at that position quickly. So I actually wasn't threatening queen h8 at all. I was never threatening queen h8, because he would always have that same move. So I had to just exchange queens there, which would have been good for me. Okay, let's double up. Guess we'll just attack the queen. Just try and threaten stuff. He's down to 30 seconds, so anything can happen. We just need to stop the checkmates. Which is going to be a challenge here. We're going to have to clear some space on our back rank, I think. Okay, he's got 15 seconds to checkmate us. I believe in him, but I do not hope he's successful. Fortunately, his knight can't really do much here. So that's one positive. Let's run away this way. Knight takes his mate. Good job. With 7 seconds left, he got us. He got us. All right, 60 minutes left. We are at 16 points, which is actually right around our average for these tournaments. It feels like we're playing really badly right now. We've had 2 streaks, so we're not actually behind where we usually are. We just could be doing a lot better. See, what did we get the last couple weeks? I think, well, last week we did really well in this tournament. We scored around 50 points, but usually we score a little bit above 30, so. Okay, let's threaten the pawn and the fork. Still threatening the pawn and fork. Knight d3 and knight takes a2 are the threats. Okay, he gets out of that. Now we're on the knight and the bishop, though. Okay, we're happy to get rid of that bishop. He can save his rook if he really wants to. Let's just keep pressure on that diagonal then, because that looks really annoying to deal with. With the idea of knight b2 coming up on the queen and rook. On the queen. If he plays d5, we can just take it. And let's go ahead and pin that knight to the queen. No good discoveries with his knight coming up. So we're up in exchange. Just a clean exchange. So we got to try and get a set of rooks off. Where's this bishop going to go? No, let's keep the bishop on. I don't think I want to let him trade his knight for the bishop. His knight's not doing anything. Makes his light square bishop too strong. Alright, let's see if we can double rooks on the e file and play something down to e2. Where's that knight going? I just have to be careful that I don't let him checkmate me. With something like bishop e4 or queen on that diagonal. I should probably play h6 to kick his knight back. Happy to make this trade. Now we're just up a clean piece. So now my bishop can come into the game. Well, don't drop our queen. That would be a problem. Need to find a way to get some pieces off the board. I do have a time edge, which is nice. Bishop g7 and get my bishop to d4 is the plan. Check. Doesn't quite work. I wanted to play bishop takes, but he plays queen takes f7. Tough position. All right, now maybe rook e8 again. We're both under 30 seconds now. So it's time for me to play fast. Play fast and not blunder checkmate. That's the name of the game. Look for the queen trade. Got the queen trade. Now things should be fine. Up. Can't take it. Mouse slip. Darn it. That was a costly mouse slip. That was the first mouse slip of the tournament, too. Oh, but he ran out of time, so he got the draw somehow. Wow. Well, we got unlucky, then we got lucky. We built a nice time advantage, but then we had to not get checkmated. Back and forth game. We'll take our 1 point. We're still in 32nd place. We're just not impressing anyone with this performance so far. Just mediocre. Get this rook to the c file. What's our knight gonna do? Maybe you should come all the way over to h7. I'm going to try and put my bishop on g7, actually. Because I'm a little bit worried about the king side. Bishop takes h7 ideas that he had. The center's opening up. A lot of pieces coming off the board. Don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, because my king side was looking a little bit shaky. Really like to put a rook on the d file, but if I do now, he has queen c7, which is annoying. Maybe this knight will hop up to f5. Not sure I really want to take his bishop. Not sure. If bishop b7, I have bishop c6 there. Okay, let's kick that knight back. He wants a knight trade, it looks like. A little bit surprising. Alright, I'm going to continue this trading. It's not exciting, but I think it might need to be done. I think it might need to be done. Can I get out of a draw here if he goes back and forth? Not without giving him a pawn. How valuable is the pawn? Alright, let's give him the c-pawn instead. Just trying to keep the game alive. Okay, this is nice, though. Give my king a light square to run to, because it looked like he was trying to set up some kind of bishop d4, rook h8 checkmate. He's under a minute. And we will run our king up the board if we need to. The position is definitely turned around for us. Even though we're down a pawn, we have some initiative here. He's under 30 seconds. On the rook. Well, no choice there. Let's get our king over there quickly. Okay, I have the outside passed pawn. So, let's see if that means anything. Okay, keep his king boxed out. Yes. Now we're going to get both the pawns, and that'll be it. And that's game. All right, nice little end game there. On to the next game. Get this streak back. Yul Rubs is our next opponent. Got a French defense. Paul from St. Petersburg. 15 out of 15. He is having a good evening. Or it's a good morning for him. It's like 3 a.m. or something in Russia, I think. Bishop g5. No, let's get castled first. So nothing too exciting in the position yet because it's an exchange French, but I feel comfortable in these positions and can play them quickly, which is why I play them in these time controls. It's not a great time to experiment, I've found. Not really going to sacrifice or anything here, but we can at least threaten it. I'll retake with the queen if he captures. Yeah, I'm not sure what my knight's doing on e2. It's keeping him out of f4, though, so that's something. Back this bishop up. Maybe I'll play c4 at some point. So he has managed to get his knight onto a good square. So I've got to be a little bit careful of f2. I'm thinking about playing knight g1 here, just so my rook gets on the file. Let's look to double our own rooks. Fight over the e-file. Unfortunately, we have not managed to get any kind of time advantage here against our Israeli counterpart. Okay, that I didn't think worked. But maybe it does. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to say it doesn't. I'm going to say my knights are guarding everything just enough. If I take with the pawn, he takes with the knight check, which is quite annoying. So, but here... What? That is checkmate? Alright, that's a nice checkmate. Gotta give him credit for that. I didn't see that. Yeah, my knight's kind of trapped my own king in there. Nice checkmate by him. No streak, so we gotta get back on one. 45 minutes left. This is our first Queen's Gambit declined type position. Get this knight developed, bring him back to f8 likely. Let's go ahead and chase that bishop back. Play bishop b7 right away here. Try and get our queen side developed. Whoa. I guess we'll take with the queen. I don't think anyone's ever taken there before in my games. Oh, he's going to capture there also. Okay. So he wants to capture everything. Guess in a way it stops me from playing c5, although now I can play c5 with the threat of taking on g2. Lots of trades there. He's telling me to back it up. Bishop e7 next to chase the rook away. Can we get away with f5? Looks aggressive. See where the bishop goes. Let's expand on the king side. See if I can get rid of that guy. Alright, so what can I do over here? See if I can get a rook over to the G file, perhaps. Ooh, he's going to open it up himself. What's happening here? Not sure. All right, I'll take. Put someone on the F file. He's going after this pawn. Do I need to worry about that pawn? He wants a queen trade now. Not much choice. Not sure I like my light square bishop now, though. Let's walk my king up. Trap his bishop. Or try to. Okay, we'll take that pawn. Can we double up on that bishop? Looking for e5 check, especially if he takes on c6. Oh, missed that. Now it's just a straight exchange. See how long we can keep him from making progress, though. I'm the one with 18 seconds left. Maybe if the time was switched, we'd be able to do something. Keeping his king out at least. What kind of craziness can we cook up here? Not enough. Not enough. Only one thing to do. Oh, out of time. Yep, there was no coming back from that. Chess coach Net is our next opponent. So we got paired up now that we lost the game. Lost a couple in a row. Queen g4 right away. He's going to take on g6. Haven't seen what he's doing here. Guess we'll take. Looks like we're under a fair bit of pressure. He's going to take on g6 next? Yeah, I don't think he can. Grab that pawn. That's a queen. Alright, don't think that was part of his plan. But we're happy to take it. We defended just well enough. See if he decides to play on or not. He does. Still could be some tricks in this position, though. Need to try and activate my queen, since that's my extra piece. Okay, now let's try and get this knight active. Is that knight trapped, actually? Not quite. Yeah, I guess it is. That knight is actually trapped. Alright, so this is going to be a nice win over a top opponent. With 35 minutes left. Could be the start of a nice streak to end the tournament. He's not on a winning streak right now. $115 left. All right, not much for him to do here. Okay, he resigned. All right, next game. Let's get this streak on a roll. Gives us 21 points. Ooh, we got an even higher rated opponent now. Used up all my easy pairings earlier and squandered it. Got black against them too. The wing gambit. I know I'm supposed to just take it. But that is about as much as I know of it. Guess we'll get this rook active. Seems like a reasonable thing to do. That is an annoying square for that bishop. I might actually castle kingside here. Even though my knight does look quite weird on e7. He's trying to stop me from castling. Guarded twice right now. And rook e8. Oh, no. Took away my defender. Not going to play that one out. All right, let's get someone below 2100. Technically below 2100. But I guess I deserve it since I haven't been playing well against the lower rated opponents. Already been given my chances. Yeah, just dropped a piece there. All right, let's take 10 seconds to reset here, get a drink. All right, 32 minutes. That's 7 more games. 6 or 7 more games, so that's a lot of points. UNC again, all right. He's having a good tournament today. Let's try not to make any huge blunders against him. Got to make our comeback. We're in 37th, so we're not that far out of things. Well, he takes right away, okay. We can deal with that. He's going to play g4. Be tempted to just take it if he does. Now my threat is to take the knight with the bishop and then play queen h2. Probably just going to exchange queens, unfortunately. No good way around that. But I think I'd be happy with an endgame here. To attack this knight. So if I want, I can take his knight. We're going to do it. I'm going to take this way. And run my king up on the light squares. That's going to be my plan, at least. I didn't really analyze this ending, though. I have a passed e-pawn, but it's isolated. Let's guard it. Okay, but this gives me a pawn. Okay, we'll find out which pawns are faster, I guess. And we both end up with a queen, okay? Well, that should be interesting. Ooh. What was that? Moved his king. Let me see if I can run towards his last pawn. Check. Check. Now trading queens wins. Weird endgame. Check. Okay, now he's out of checks. There we go. Made me work for it. And he resigned. Next game. 26 minutes left. Cold player again. Ooh, looks like he's gone up in some rating. Yeah, he's having a good tournament. I had white last time we played also. Let's back up. Interesting. Okay, let's jump in here. This is very unusual. Can I get rid of that dark squared bishop? Yes, we can. think a4 makes sense. Gotta be a little careful because my knight is hanging. But I guess we're just gonna take. Now I can try and power up on e2. Queen or e6. I can play queen e3 next on c5. Alright, now I'm threatening knight moving to h5 or taking on e6 with a check, which will win the queen, like that. And that should be game over. See if he plays on or not. He does. We'll come all the way back. Now I'm threatening h3 to try and win the knight. Let's play check. Check. And we'll pick up the rest of his pieces here. And that'll be it. Alright, next game, got a streak of 2. Ending on a good streak here. And we got Andrew Tang. That may be a quick end to our streak. Played him once before. I cannot say it went particularly well. As one can imagine. I'm on the e3 pawn. No longer. Yeah, that's not going to work, is it? It's not being friendly to us. Okay, playing a little defense here. Just trying to chase down my rook. What can I do about it? Guess I can try and go up the board. I don't see any crazy checkmates yet, so that's a good thing. That's going to be our rook. I will play on a little more. What happens if I take that? I don't know. I'll take it. We'll see. I'm getting checkmated. Alright, we'll let him checkmate. Good game, Andrew. Good game. Broke our streak. Pac-Man Pow Twitch is our next opponent. We took right away on c5. Okay, that's a little bit different. We'll take that isolated pawn. See what we can do with it. No longer have the isolated pawn. Maybe queen b6 coming up. Is he going to trade on f6? That's the big question. No, he is not. We're attacking his knight right now. Trying to keep my queen active and annoying. We are building a slight time edge. Nothing huge, but... Okay, the e-file looks like a good place to be. Let's attack the queen. And let's line up with the queen again. All the way over to the king side now. The bishop's pinned. Some good pressure here. Now he wants to trade. I don't think trading is particularly great for us. But we might have to here. Yeah, our pieces are getting a little tangled. We went after that pawn, okay. Yeah, I guess there's not much I can do about that. No good place for that rook. Too many pieces on these open files. A little worried about bishop c6 here. Where's that knight going? Everything over there on the king side is guarded. Wow, so you just double his f-pawns there? It's hard to resist. Open up my rook. Don't mind as much if he takes on b6 now. Okay, take here first with check. Then capture the bishop. Alright, we've got even material. And we're going to have time to get our bishop out and about. So this position's turning around for us. Let's throw in a check. Now the threat is to take on c5. I'm down to 20 seconds though. Okay, he's using a lot of time on this move right here. Okay, let's capture. That's a free rook. Bishop was already free. Oh, and I ran out of time. He still had 4 seconds left. Couldn't pre-move my way to victory there. Yeah, he had a bit of a time advantage going into that time scramble. Alright, 15 minutes left. Still a few more games. But tough pairings the second half. Lost our easy games. We need a couple more wins to get into the 30-point mark. Three more wins. 2 more wins. Just 2 more wins. Gotta find room for 2 more wins. Let's track down that bishop. Looks like a useful diagonal. Threaten to just take the knight. Guard that c2 pawn if my bishop moves. Need to find a way to get my queen more aggressively on the king's side. Let's sack an exchange. Be aggressive. Now what I want to play is something like rook e6. Yeah, he stops that idea. We'll take this. I do like this bishop, though. Not sure if we'll be able to do enough of it, with it, but... we are on the a-pawn also. And it's guarding the e1 square, which is the only open file. So there's definitely something here. Check. So what are our chances of trapping that rook? Probably not very high. He can probably always bail out by giving back the exchange. He's under a minute though, and he's just going to give back the exchange now. Understandable. But we are now up a pawn. So let's make use of it. We're going to have to run our king up the board, most likely, if we want a chance of winning. What's going on here? That was weird. Yeah, you can't trade queens since we have the passed pawn. He's going to try and get his king closer. Actually, let's force his king back. Looks useful. Still doesn't have any useful checks. Ooh. Yeah, I guess that didn't quite work. Though he did let me collect this. Oh no. He's less than a second. Yeah, I missed his pre-move, but then he ran out of time, so it worked out. Okay, on to the next one. 7 minutes left, 2 to 3 more games. We're at 28 points, so we're doing okay. An average tournament. Noah the Real Lin is our next opponent. Let's just jump right in there. See what happens when we play something a little crazy. Guess we'll do something like this. See if I can make my white squared bishop good. Not sure I'm ever going to want a castle, though. Looks kind of ugly there on the king's side. We might be stuck in the middle here. 30-second time edge. He's going to trade everything on c6. He'll be up a pawn, but I won't be under the same pressure. My king is feeling it at the moment. Guard that a pawn he could have taken. Alright, let's castle out of this. And I'm on his rook right now, and if the knight moves, I'm actually threatening checkmate. But I can't move to that square, apparently. Except I can't move to that square. Well, it was a good try to get out of that lost position. We'll make him play a little more. Just not much to do here. No way out of it. My king got stuck in the center. Oh, Destroyer 8470. We've played him before. Usually in the chat before the tournament starts. To attack that knight. That unguarded knight. Bring this knight over to f3, play queen d2. We'll go ahead and take him. Get rid of that bishop. Everyone wants to trade. Gonna trade rooks also? He is. No signs of slowing down. Guess we'll go after this guy. Play f4 to try and keep that pawn. Thought about pushing, but I don't think it's good. See if I can get my king up on these dark squares. Oh, stop his knight from jumping in first. Maybe my knight belongs up here. Threatening to take the bishop and then take the pawn. Which actually is going to work perfectly here. Let's keep his king out of it first. Okay, now we can proceed. This should be a winning king-pawn endgame. Since he just can't do anything without letting my pawn get past. It's actually going to just end up getting mated here. All right, next game. Let's see if we can get something in quick. 1 minute. D4 and an 1800? Probably not. This is going to just end up being an abort. Maybe if we're lucky, he'll give us 1 point with the draw, but it's not even going to be worth much in this position. Oh, and that's it. That ended quick. All right, that's the end of the tournament. We got 30 points, so 34th place. Not bad, not great. Had some tough pairings in the second half. Paul from St. Petersburg kind of ran away with it, 24 out of 26. All right, well, we will see you guys tomorrow for the next stream. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you for the follows and the support. Good luck in your games.